Hey everybody, my name is Olivia Archer, and this is the Sphoxie Postmortem. So, what is Sphoxie? It's been quite well. You should know because these are the videos I've been posting recently on my YouTube channel. Well, Sphoxie started off as a game that I wanted to make about 6 years ago, around 2012, I guess. It was right after I finished my first game, the Zango Blast, on iOS. And I want to try to do something easy, which is funny in hindsight because this ended up being incredibly hard for reasons that I did not anticipate. The idea of Sphoxy was that you're in control of this little blue spiky ball, and you have to navigate these levels, collect the forward cubes to unlock the exit and exit. And after every 8 levels, you'd have a boss level. I wanted to try and like kind of flex my creativity, so every time I would do sets of 3 levels that kind of shared a theme. So you have like these spiral levels. Um, this is one of the boss levels here. Some dynamic levels where the cubes are where the levels constantly moving or reacting to you. These kind of ribbon path like racing style levels, um, these cliff style levels. All of this made it harder because like for each of these 3 levels I would have to think of a new concept and make it work and deal with their individual quirks, like having to make custom collision meshes so that it doesn't bump on every single edge that we see here. Um, so that was a problem. I regret it. In hindsight, uh, I would have made most of the levels either like this, but a more half pipe like, and like this, because for me, I felt like these were the most fun levels to play because you could just go full speed and try not to fall off. A lot of clouds, a lot of clouds. Um, in the end, I tried to make it as easy as I could, but that was not the case because of a weird control issue that I will try and explain. So basically, one of the things that made me take forever with this were the controls. Originally, I had this giant blob, and it didn't work quite well. What I realized was that um, when you have these these two inputs, they're kind of like event ticks. They're always sending a signal. I will launch the game to show this. Alright, let me just make the music a bit lower. Oh, it's low. Anyway, so let's go to the. Wow, that's loud. Let's go to the first level, and yeah, turn down the volume a bit. Alright, so I'm already logging because I tried to do this video once already and it failed, so the print string is there. So if you're going forward, I wish there was a way. So the basic idea was like when you're going forward and then you suddenly added left, it would double up your forward speed. I wish I had turned off the music because it's really loud. Um, yeah, so right. So as you can see that these are always sending a signal. So, so you see, it can never go faster than 1,600, even if I'm doing left and right. Well, it actually kind of did. should never go over 1,800. And before, with the old system, when you actually add a branch, so I'm gonna add a branch. Ignore these errors; they are not important. So if I do actually hook these up like this, you're gonna see when I'm going forward and I try and go left, that it's gonna jump a bit. Not jump, but like you're gonna see it. Oh damn it! Uh, you're gonna you're gonna see a change in velocity. Should really turn this sound down. So so you see I'm going forward, it's going slower than before. The moment I go right, you see that there's this weird acceleration happening. So you could actually accelerate by just wiggling it in the old system. Yeah, is that right? So what is actually happening here is that when you branch it off and you have one signal that's going through, you're only getting half the speed. But when you have both of these that are lines that are orange, you're doubling. So when only one, you're getting half the speed, and when they're both going through, you're getting double the acceleration, not the top speed. This only affects the acceleration. So you see, the acceleration is already much slower than before when using one. This is much more obvious on the controller, because even if the controller is at like 1 left and 100 right, it's gonna make, I mean, even if the controller is like going forward at 100% and it's going right 1%, it's still gonna make the going forward double, because you see when both are going through, the acceleration gets doubled for some reason, So this problem comes exclusively from trying to block the signal from happening when the controller is in its dead zone. So by doing this, the signal's always being doubled. So like in theory, I had to like actually half my speed. So to show you what I really mean is I guess I'd have to do this vector, because this is just added to the current speed. Alright, let's see if I can print this out. It will make more sense. So here I have it's not being branched. I hope it's not too boring, but I feel like this could help some people, because when you have two signals going through the thing, instead of combining and turning into one, it doubles up, which is a bit unexpected. So you can see here, like the X is at 75 in the moment, and it doesn't double up. So now we have the X at 75 and the Y at 75. The Z is just added gravity. So that's all fine and dandy. That's what we want. And then if we go here and we add this gate, which is what you would think would be the right thing to do, right? Because you don't want it constantly updating when there's nothing to update. But it matters. And then we go. So you see, by adding the gate, now I'm at 37. Not the gate. What do I keep saying? By adding the branch, so it's stuck at 37, and then I'm gonna push to the right, and you're gonna see it doubles up. Everything just doubles up for no reason, and that is because that is because even though that these two signals here, these two whatever, um, get converted into one here, it doubles up on this for some reason, and that is it. So as long as these two signals, even if it's zero, as long as if it's going here and adding here, it doubles it up for some reason. It just redoes this entire calculation 2 times. So the only way to actually make it work properly is to not actually have this branch and make it constantly send a signal. So um, I'll show you again. So here we go. So it just doubles up for no reason, and now I'm gonna remove this branch, and then you shall see that it will always be at 75, and then when I add the other direction, uh, it too will stay at 75. So it'll be 75x, 75y, and not like the other one where it goes from, let's say, 35x, and then when you add the y, it goes from being 35 0 to 75 75, which is annoying if you're trying to make something that you're annoying if you're trying to make. So there you see 75. I add the second direction, and it's 75. Well, it seems to be like impulsing between both, but whatever. And then so yeah, I hope that that was the biggest gotcha. That was what just made the controls seems like such a nightmare, really. Um, Another thing that was so very annoying in this was doing the UI, like for the options and stuff. Uh, right, so at least for this, like now I know that there's like user settings, and you can just like pull out anti. You can like get the anti-aliasing, and you can like set the anti-aliasing quality. So wait, where's my anti-aliasing? So here, I could replace like all of this with just this and like a variable here, or select whatever way you want to do it. But yeah, so this could be done easier. Also, like I liked this a lot until I realized that doing I don't know if it's changed because I didn't touch this since like uh, version 14 or something. But I remember on the keyboard, let's go. If you want to do like like for the mouse, it's great, it's amazing, it's wonderful, everything you want. You got your hover and everything, except on the mobile, like when you touch it, the hover doesn't go away. And then the keyboard, like actually getting keyboard controls to work on this is kind of like a mystery. It works on the final version, but in the editor it doesn't work for some reason. I think it might work. No. So I mean, it would have been a great, except for that the it's such a nightmare on the keyboard. I don't know if that's been changed or anything. Because this is so great because it's like kind of like web responsive, whatever. Woo. Um, so it would adapt to the screen and stuff, but the problems that it added were just not worth it. So in the future, I'm just going to do all the interface in 3D because that will also be responsive because they're 3D objects and responsive in a way. I mean, they will scale well. I mean, if you go to like a 4:3 from 6:9, 16:9, it's probably still gonna cut the sides, but it's the hovering and all of that I won't have to deal with, which just makes it so much better. I will reinvestigate to see if like the keyboard controls and stuff have been improved or something, but yeah, it was not fun dealing with that. Another problem was the physics. Um, the game is not made to be geared for this, but there were some stuff that I had to change. Somebody told sent me a message after the game was released, like a very specific way of dealing with these physics issues. I wish I remembered what it was, but it's fine now. Like the thing was like for very tiny edges that were a bit too oversensitive, it just made it like so it could roll over like these cracks uh, more easily. Oops, I'll slow down the camera. Slow down the go over this stuff much more easily, I guess. Anyway, so what have I learned from making Sphoxie? That making games are is hard, but like the meta aspects of the game is harder, like the interface and stuff like that, and having a lot of variety for the sake of variety. It might be awesome for the player, but for you as a developer, it sucks because you have to keep like figuring out everything. Like if I had done just ribbons and pipe levels, I would have spent so much time like making figuring out how to make everything else work. The race mode was a massive waste of time because nobody seemed no people couldn't care less about it. I think I'm the only one who's been playing the race modes. Um, Also, it sounds kind of like I don't know. No, I fell. How embarrassing, my own game. Um, yeah, I guess I should have really named it time trials because you're not really racing against anybody. And yeah, it took a long time because of time management was working. TV station started a new job, had to figure that stuff out, and then I claimed a week of vacation time to like just power through and finishing it. 'Cause there were a lot of quirks. It's not like the game was finished, quote unquote, for a long time. Hey, I mean, whatever. Uh, but there were all these weird quirks of the controller, all these like weird bugs because of the way that I did things as I was learning the Unreal Engine 4, and I had to get rid of all my habits from the UDK and Kismet. Like in Kismet, you could just like place nameless variables around each time, but here, like every time, you can't just put in a like a bubble and just put in like whatever number you want. You have to like add variables a lot of the times, and I had to get used to like this kind of organization, which it is way much better. Like congratulations, Epic, you've done like a most amazing job on this, and also another big problem was passing the variables around. Like so, you load everything. Um, do I have it here? The startup sequence, I guess it's the level loading. So you gotta load up all your data and you gotta save it and just managing the data is a lot and then you have to like transfer it. Now I realize, but I've already made this mistake in the new game that I'm working on because I've gone too far. But it's best to have like a global blueprint that has all the data, that keeps all the data updated, and then all the other blueprints can call to it as needed. And and they just keep their local variables. I mean, it seems like the most correct thing. It didn't seem that obvious in blueprints. But yeah, so now I know for the future. What else? What else have I learned? Oh right, marketing. I spent about 200 Swiss francs in marketing on this. 100 francs on Facebook, which was just a huge waste of time, money, and effort. And Facebook just made it even worse by the way that they do the billing. I have like a prepaid credit card, and so I put the $100 on it. I did my campaign, whatever, and then some domains auto renewed, and then so Facebook didn't get their whole $100, and then they were annoying me over $7, and I kept putting the $7, and it was not going through for some reason on their app, and then I got frustrated and decided to try and do the payment through the website, and that finally worked, and it just left a bad taste in my mouth. I just don't want to deal. Also, the return was really bad on this on the Facebook. I had better return like when I did like more targeted advertising on a community, web community that I kind of participate in. I also spent 100 francs there, but I got a lot more feedback and advice and support there from the community. So unless you have like huge amount of money to throw away, I don't recommend Facebook unless, at all. Also, the way that they handled it and everything about it, just it's not good, not good at all. What else have I learned? Keep it simple, stupid. This is the philosophy I'm going to be going with. Like, just trying things for the sake of trying it and just making it crazy and for the sake of it, like diverse and stuff just for the sake of it, is not worth it. Consistency and coherence is much, much, much better. Um, and also, people don't like anything that's remotely close to hard. I do admit that the original control, like the control issues, were incredibly hard to deal with, but they weren't that hard. Like I could actually beat the games with the quote unquote bad controls. I mean, they were bad. They were just jumpy. Like the moment you started going two directions at the same time, like you just double up in speed for absolutely no reason. But now we know the reason. Also, this level, I feel like it was not a good idea to start with this level because it's quite easy to fall off, especially with the controller issues. I should have made the first few levels a bit more baby-ish. Maybe started with the mazes like I had done before because it's quite hard to fall off the maze. Like you would have to intentionally push yourself off the maze. Yeah. Anyways, it was fun. Didn't make much money. Didn't make. Didn't even recover its marketing budget. Embarrassing. It took 1.5 years to make the first version, which was on the iOS. And it took 4 years to remake it on the Unreal Engine 4. But that's not because the Unreal Engine 4 is harder to use. On the contrary, it's much easier to use. But it's because I had a job in real life, and so time management. But now I've figured out a way to be uh, to have my cake and eat it too. So I'll be able to have my job and still have more time to work on this. And I'll be doing a video on my upcoming game, which is a remake of Bizango Blast. So basically, it's just Bizango Blast in Unreal Engine 4, um, with better physics, better graphics, easier controls, and less scary protagonist. I haven't made the starfish people yet, but I know that they scare people, so I'll do a better job. Also, the interface is going to be much better. I got criticized that it was ugly. The original Bizango Blast interface was ugly, and they were right. People, they were very, very ugly, and I put a lot of effort into making them better. And also, attacking things in a systemic way. These menus are not like system space. They were pretty much handmade menus where everything is kind of placed by itself automatically, not automatically, manually, um, which is great, but it's incredibly time consuming. If you want to change anything, then it's a pain in the butt. And check out this highlighter. I will show you the new highlighter system that I did for Bizango Blast, and you'll see that it is way, way simple. Looking at this now, you have to remember this was made many years ago. I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? That is insane. It kind of looks pretty like in a geometric way, but my goodness, my goodness. Yes, that's all I can say. It's my goodness. So all of this, like I found simpler ways of doing this, which I'll show in the Zango Blast first video. I'll go through the menus, but doing things in a systematic way where like the menu is created programmatically, so The numbers are added for you automatically. The stars are added for you. The lock and stuff is added for not added, but like you make a four loops, 1 to 9, or I guess 0 to 8 in the Unreal Engine, and it would just plop your buttons down with the rules that you gave it. You see here, there's no construction script, so it's all handmade. Uh, but yeah, I kept it clean. Um, so that's it, I guess. So over over 5 years for not much gain, but it was worth it. Hashtag no regrets. Would I do it again? Not this game. No, no. I think I'm done with physics-based ball rolling games with minimalistic graphics. If I had done well, I had some ideas for future levels, but I don't want to preach to the void because what's the point, you know? Steam was pretty good. Oh, right, I should talk about distribution. Steam was pretty awesome. They're awesome distributor. I like dealing with them. Their systems are pretty cool for everything. Um, Even when I had some issues, the support was fantastic. They reply pretty quickly. Uh, A plus 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 1010 would release with them again. I tried to release with Good Old Games, but they rejected me. They sent me a nice email saying that Sphoxie was not good enough. Oh, well, c'est la vie, as they would say. And I tried Good Old Game. No, the Humble Bundle. They also sent a very similar email saying that they are not interested. But uh, that sucks. But as long as I have Steam, I don't really care because I personally don't buy games from Good Old Games. I've bought games from the Humble Bundle, but I mostly buy my games on Steam. I've bought over 100 games on Steam. I'll continue buying on Steam. I support them, they support me. It's awesome. I wish the others had given me a bit more of a chance, but there's something just deeply unattractive about Sphoxy. I'm not really sure what about it is so unattractive. I don't know, it's the colors, the minimalisticness, the fact that it's a rolling ball game and everybody and their mother is doing a ball rolling game now. If it looks too simple, it looks too casual, it looks too easy. It is not. It's actually very not easy. Um, I think I don't know what to think. So in the end, I'm a little bit heartbroken and disappointed by all of this, but the knowledge that I've learned is just makes it like totally worth it. Like you couldn't, I would not have learned all of this in the school or something. The only thing I wish I had was like um, more time to just like do this stuff. But soon enough, hopefully one of the games that I make will be enough to give me seed money to make a studio. I can just do this full time and stuff. Um, Hopefully you can leave me your feedback. If you want to test Foxy, I'm willing to give you a code. Like, I don't really care about the money anymore at this point. Some people play the game, so if you want to play it, just let me know and I'll try and send you a code or something. But you have to give me feedback. That's the deal. And yeah, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. And if you're making your own game, good luck and try not to make my mistakes. Make sure like your controls are perfect before you release. Don't bother advertising on Facebook. It's a waste of money. Just like find forums and communities you can that you already participate in and just go directly to that. Reddit was pretty nice about the game too. Like most people who played it, they kind of liked it. I feel like the public response was overall positive. Most of the complaints were the controls, but I fixed that as soon as I solved. I knew what was what the issue was. Anyways, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care. Have a good day, and yeah, that's about it, I guess.